Hi, welcome to Accounts Payable ACH. We're going to talk about how to operate the Accounts Payable ACH and also a little bit about setup, and then show you where there are some helpful documents to walk you through setting up your vendor banks and your bank as well. Okay, so we're going to start here in accounts payable, payables management. As far as entering invoices go, there's really not much of a difference. I already have a batch set up here, so we're going to come in here and look at some of these invoices. So clicked on the wrong thing. Invoice. So really, when you put in an invoice, it's just like normal. About the only thing you want to watch out for is payment method. You just want to make sure that ACH payment method is selected. We'll show you here in a moment how you can make that the default for the vendor as well. But you just have to make sure ACH payment is there, and then everything else is the same. Still put in your account distribution as normal, still save it. Here's our batch. I'm going to go ahead and close this batch and we'll process it. So register just like normal. We'll do our approve and post. And since this is a payment batch, actually both items in there I have marked as ACH, I'm going to go ahead and create a payment batch. So just normal operations. Now you'll notice with ACH turned on, you have two extra columns down here in the payment area. You've got create file and email remittance. So create file will create the file that you will save on your computer and then upload to the bank. It is not an automatic process. Okay, we do not talk directly to your bank. So you'll download that file and save it and then upload it to your bank following your normal procedures with your bank. And then we also have email remittance, which allows you to notify your vendors that you've paid. Otherwise, they would have to wait until they saw the payment at the bank. This gives you a chance to let them know. So let's process this batch. So once it's down here, we still are going to print our register. We've got to approve the batch. Now, because we told it that it's ACH payment, it will skip over print checks and come to the create file. So we'll click on our create file. Now, your file date will need to be the next day. Most banks are going to require it to be at least the next day. So we'll put that in there and we'll click on blue create file. And this will create a standard notcha file. And let me bring this over here. So this is a standard notcha file. It should work with all of your banks. What we've found is that some banks read some lines, others don't, but this is a standard file. So like I said, save it and then upload it to your bank following your bank's procedures. Then, once you have done that, you do have the option of emailing remittances to your vendors. You just click on email remittance. This is also not an automatic process because we don't want there to be, you find an error or something, you want to get it corrected before you send out to your vendors. Once you bring this up, you can click on the box to the left of vendor name up here and select all, or you can select one by one who you want to send remittance advices to. And then you'll click email remittance. It'll process for a moment and you'll see down in the right hand corner when it's successful, we'll get a green, hey, you've successfully sent the file. So we'll get a notification when it's gone. There we go. The ACH remittance has been sent. You can do your check register as normal and then post. Okay, so that's how easy it is to operate payables management. And I will show you what an email remittance looks like here because it was sent to me. Let me open this up. Okay, so what the remittance is going to look like is this, although what we will do when you tell us that you'd like to have the APACH turned on, we'll upload a template to your database and we'll put your name on it. So it'll say city of, town of, village of for you. But what it looks like is basically a check and a stub so that they can see what's being paid and how much. Okay, so that's the operations of it. The only other thing to show you is over here under Manage and Email History, there will be an email history of all the emails that you've sent your vendors. Okay, now as far as setup goes, up here under Manage, if we go to Vendors, if you click on the vendor that you're going to be paying via ACH, under the actions with the ACH turned on, there's an ACH payment information button now. So we'll click on this. This is where you'll put in your vendor banking information. You'll have to get this from the vendor because they'll be able to tell you whether it's a checking or savings account, what the name is on the account, their routing number, and their bank account number. Now, what the system will do is it will automatically mark it as active. It will automatically put in the effective date. And then this is also where you're going to indicate whether you want to send email remittances to this vendor or not. So you'll tell it, yes, I want to receive by email, and then you'll put in the email address you want and save it. One other thing you might want to do while you're here is if you come up to Actions, you might want to go to Edit Vendor, and in this first part of the screen here in the left, down at the bottom where it says Payment Method and you can put in a default, just make your life easier and change it to ACH Payment. That way when you create an invoice for this vendor, it'll automatically populate ACH Payment, and that's just one less thing that you have to click when you're putting in the invoice. So that's where that's at. Now, the other side of it is you'll need to put in your banking information, and that is over in General Ledger under Setup and down here in SY Banks. And then you'll choose your bank or banks because you can set up more than one bank account to pay out of. Okay, so this one we're just going to do one bank. We're going to choose this bank and we're going to set up the consolidated cash account. So I'm going to click on the edit cogwheel of the account. And then under actions, there's now an add ACH information button. I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to fill in all of this information for my bank. You'll fill this in for your city, town, villages bank. Okay. So that's really all there is to setting up the ACH. The most difficult part is just gathering the information. Now, to help you do this, under Help Documents, if you come in here in File Name, if you just type in ACH up here, it'll sort, and some of your helpful documents will be AP Manage Vendors Add ACH Information. This one will help you add the vendor bank information. The next one will be GL Setup System Banks, ACH File Setup Definitions. Basically, it just gives you some real world terms to help define what goes in each of the boxes. And then GL Setup System Banks Add ACH Info. What that one does is it'll walk you through putting in your bank information. And just to let you know what it looks like, the one for the ACH setup file definitions, this is what I mean. It just goes through each of the different boxes and tells you what it means. So when it's asking for DFI account information, that's just asking for your bank account number. So that's giving you that type of information. The one that's the manage add ACH info to the vendor. This is the one that walks you through screen by screen how to put in your vendor banking information. And even better, we have a link to a great YouTube video that walks you through it in video form. Okay. And then we also have the one for the general ledger. So it walks you through putting in your banking information, just all the steps to get there and how to fill it out. And we have a helpful video for that one. So I hope you enjoy the ACH product. We're just really excited to put it out there for you. If you have any issues or any questions, please don't hesitate to send in a case and we'd be happy to help you out. Thank you for watching the video.